But healing is about unlocking. It's about opening up. It's about creating space. It's about simplification. It's not about creating more things to think about. It's not about creating more stuff. It's about coming back home. It's about learning how to be yourself. Hey guys, it's Hayden here making another video. Today I want to talk about healing, what it is, and how it works. Let's get into it. Before I get into the video, I just want to thank my supporters and my patrons for supporting me through my journey. And if you're new to my channel and you like my content, consider subscribing and maybe supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can check out my website and reach out to me on my Instagram or email, which will be in the description below. So the kind of healing that I'm going to be talking about in this video is not the kind of healing that you would have necessarily for healing a broken bone or healing from a sickness or a disease or anything like that. What I'm talking more about is psychological healing. So healing of the mind, healing of the perceptions, and healing of trauma and things like that. A lot of healing has to do with perception of self and perception of an event or the outside world and how it relates to oneself. Looking inwards, looking at our tangles, our loose ends, our darkness, and simplifying and shedding light and untangling those different pieces and parts of ourself. So you might be wondering, what does it take to heal, or what's the process, or how do I do it? And the answer to that is, I don't know. It really depends on the situation. It depends on your psychology. It depends on where you're stuck. You see, there's not this magic box that sort of opens up when you do certain things or when you follow a certain path. It takes time and it's a process. So, someone can spend their whole life with a belief or an understanding of something that isn't serving them, and it's not until the end of their life that they understand that how that trauma affected them and how they're able to unlock that and resolve that issue. The process for healing is more of an ongoing process and an ongoing inquiry and an ongoing investigation and an ongoing relationship with yourself and the world and with other people. Most healing doesn't come in big chunks, big understandings, big revelations. A lot of healing involves little steps, baby steps, little understandings, little changes in your perception, little changes in your behavior that allow for new things to come forth and expand and grow and make change in your life. Over time, those build up, and you get to a point where you might understand a bigger concept and understand how to sink into yourself more and be more yourself and feel more present and feel more connected to the world. I think this life is an experience for self-development and growth. Whether you believe in a spirit or soul or not, there's growth and understanding and a process that's unfolding. There's a consciousness, there's a shape of your personality, there's a shape of your perception that exists, and over time it evolves and it changes and it grows, and there's a process there. It's like a river or like an unfolding of a kind of a piece of music or something, and there's smaller parts, there's bigger parts, there's places where there's harmony, there's places where there's dissonance. And following that process and following that flow, there's sort of a path that's happening there. And in this experience, in this life, there is pain, there is disconnection, there is trauma, there is suffering. And it can be hard to deal with that, and we can get kind of stuck in those emotions and that feeling of stuckness. There is a lot of stagnation that can happen if we remain stuck in traumas in the mind and the problems and the issues and all of the things that make us disconnected from ourselves and the world. But healing is about unlocking. It's about opening up. It's about creating space. It's about simplification. It's not about creating more things to think about. It's not about creating more stuff. It's about coming back home. It's about learning how to be yourself. Healing is also being able to flow and understand the parts that are stagnant, understand the parts that are sort of traumatized or we feel we're disconnected. Those are parts of the flow, those parts of the development, And that's part of the unfolding of the healing process. When we start to resist certain things, or we start to push against certain things, it delays the process, but in that process, there's also something that's working too. So we may resist, and someday we decide we don't resist. But in order to get to the point where we felt like we didn't have to resist anymore, we had to go through that resistance part. So again, the journey of healing is a journey. It's not just a destination or a place to go. And when the person is ready to heal, they'll heal. They'll meet the person that they need to help them heal that process, or they will figure it out for themselves. And that's just how it works. When a person's not ready to heal and they're not ready, they haven't gained the experience and the body of knowledge in order to have that revelation, they're not going to have it because they're not ready for it. They're not primed for it. They haven't done the work to get to that point. Because this kind of brings up the question, like, is life predetermined? Like, is there destiny? Is there agency in what we do? And I'm not really sure what the answer to that question is. I have no idea. But what I do know is that it's easy to project. It's easy to blame others. It's easy to displace our own power, give our power to other people. But when we choose to take responsibility for our actions, when we choose to, try to be better, and we try to understand why stuff is happening to us in our life, or we try to understand how we can improve or make changes to make our lives better, there's more likelihood for success. There's more likelihood to have changes occur than constantly projecting and blaming others and not focusing on how you can make a difference, how your perception is affecting the situation, and how you can be a catalyst for change, transformation, and peace in the world. I don't really have any answers for you. I don't really have anything to make you heal instantly or anything like that. But what I do want to tell you is to honor your process and to honor where you're at right now, and understand that maybe you don't feel great right now, or maybe you do feel great. But just know that you're in the place where you need to be at this moment in time. And it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be the way you are right now. But this is where you are right now. And accepting that as part of your journey and moving forward, understanding where you are, is the next step towards the next healing process, or the next revelation, or the next understanding, or the next beautiful thing that's coming along your path moving forward. So that's all I have to share with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell, and support me on Patreon if you'd like to support me. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, reach out to me on my Instagram and check out my website to see my services. And as always, guys, make sure to seek your truth and to take time for yourself. And I'll catch you in my future videos. Bye for now.